What's good, YouTube, and welcome back to another YouTube video. For today's video, I'm going to be telling you another story time. This story time is a little much. I don't even know what I'm going to name it, so let's just get into it. This starts back when I was either a junior or a senior in high school. As I mentioned in my previous story time, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to link the link in the description below.
I had a car that I was obsessed with.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
But it was my first car that I bought. I call her Polly. That was my baby. I love this car. I put everything on this car. Bought me a nice touchscreen radio. Because I love this car so much, I wanted to change the rims on it. Let me break down the trims of Impalas. You have the fully loaded, which is the LTZ. Then you have the LT, which is in between. Well, my LT was very close to an LTZ. That included everything that you can possibly get on the Impala. The only thing I didn't have was the rims. I began to look all over the internet. I was looking everywhere, sites that I ain't never even heard of. My parents was like,
"Son, just get you some new ones, some brand new ones."
I'm like,
I don't want to get no brand new ones.
Little did they know them things about $300-400 a piece. I was in high school and I was working a little part-time job. That wasn't gonna get it. Kept looking. I even got to the point where I was looking at junkyards. I was looking at red cars that maybe still had the rims. Couldn't find them nowhere. I turned on my little notification so every time somebody posted Chevy Impala rims, it would notify me. So I get a notification that there is a set in Washington, D.C. So that's only a 4-hour drive from my parents' house. So I was like,
man, I can drive that to go get some rims.
So I hit up the guy, let him know that I'm coming. You know, we make all the arrangements. So I decided to leave early in the morning. I'm a night driver. I don't want to be on the road during peak hours in traffic and stuff. My patience is bad. They are. So I leave 12 a.m. No, I didn't leave 12 a.m.
What you talking about?
I actually left at about 4 in the morning. I left at 4 in the morning. So when I got there, it was 8 o'clock. That was just when everybody was getting to work and all that. So I didn't want to go on this trip by myself. That was the next item of business, was trying to figure out who was going to ride with me up there, because my parents was not going to let me drive up there by myself at 16, 17. Especially to go meet some guy I ain't never met to get some rims. So I hit up my homeboy. We're going to call him... We're gonna call him Jacob.
What?
So me and Jacob decided that we were gonna go up to Washington, D.C. to get these rims. The thing about Jacob, I knew Jacob wasn't doing nothing when I hit him up. I hit him up the night before I was supposed to go. So I hit up, this is hours before we were supposed to go. Oh, I said his real name. So I hit up Jacob, like I thought, wasn't doing nothing. So he was happy to ride with me. So we got up that morning, we got breakfast, and we was on our way. He was my co-pilot, and the co-pilot I usually let do the music. Jacob sung the whole way up there, bro. And this dude cannot sing. I'm a music person, so I can't stand when people sing and they can't sing. This nigga sung the whole way up there, bro. So we got up there, and I get the text from the guy, right? I'm not getting no response. And I'm like, Lord, I done came up here, and this man ain't answering his text messages. So me and Jacob, we decided, hey, we just gonna wait a little while. We gonna hang out in DC a little bit until this guy answers back. So we go see we walked on the government mall. We went to the
He needs some
we
milk.
drove by all of that. We drove by the White House, all of that. And still no answer. We wait and wait. And
we have to sit out here and wait a long periodically time.
finally, I'm just like, this dude stood us up. Now, For some reason, I mean, I was upset, but I was more worried about my parents. I was more worried that my parents gonna be like,
And you done went up there and see that dude ain't even up there. I told you you need to go get some new rims.
that's exactly what I was worried about. I wasn't worried about nothing. Jacob was laughing about the whole thing. We still laugh about this story. We actually had a good time, to be honest, because we went to the mall and stuff. So that was my first attempt of getting the rims. I told you this story was a lot. So it was back to square one, trying to find these rims because I was going to get some. The reason why I wanted to get these rims is because most of the time they're coming off another car. So I'll get the tires too, because at the time I needed tires. So I found another post after another witch hunt for these tires and wheels. I found some other ones. Now this time it was in Jacksonville, Florida. So this was a drive. It was during the summer and we hadn't had a summer vacation. So me and my mom and dad just decided we're just gonna make a trip out of this. So we drove down, and I told you before, I drive everywhere. Don't nobody else drive me. I drove the whole way. That's a serious problem, but that's a whole nother story. We got down there the first day, and I had been communicating with this guy just like the other dude. He knew I was coming. We had made it final. So I get down there and we waiting. Got there a little early. He was texting me the whole way down there. We just knew that this transaction was going to go down. So we get there, we sat there, we sat there. We sat there and we sat there. I mind you, he kept postponing the time we were supposed to meet. Like he was like, okay, let's do noon. Oh no, let's do 4. Now, no, let's do 6. So we finally met at the last time we negotiated. So it was about, I think it was like 4 o'clock. I don't know. We get down there, and y'all, I'm gonna see if I can find these messages because it was in this app, and I'm pretty sure that the messages are still up there. But yeah, he never showed up. At this little car lot thing, you know them little side car lots that be selling I don't know, Ford Escorts. A worker was there, and we was like,
Yo, have you seen such and such?
and he was like,
Yeah, he's supposed to be right back.
never showed up. After all of that, we decided we just gonna go back to the hotel room. You know, we're here for a few days. He'll message us if he decide he want to sell the rims. When we got back to the hotel room, I got a message that said,
"Oh, my bad, bruh. I decided to sell them to my cousin."
nigga, I drove a total of over 827 miles to come get these rims, and you decided to sell them to your cousin.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because...
He proceeds to text me and say, I have some size 17 rims that I'm willing to sell.
Those were the same rims that I already have on my car.
So like I said, we went back to the hotel room and we decided we're just gonna make the best out of this trip. We decided, you know, to go to the mall, flea markets. Me and my mom are cheap, so we like flea markets. So I came across this post for some Impala rims, and they're in Orlando. That's about a 4-hour drive from Jacksonville. And so I'm like, okay, I'm sitting here counting. I got stood up in Washington, D.C., and I got stood up in Jacksonville. Shoot, I'm gonna give it a try. I contacted this guy. This time, I laid it on thick. I told him all the trouble I went through trying to find these rims, and I told him, look,
If you don't want to sell these rims, you let me know right now, because I already done drove all up and down the East Coast trying to get these rims.
and then because I'm cheap, I had to talk him down, you know, because his price was more than I had. So at this point, because I have to campaign to my parents too, because they're along for this ride too. So I'm pulling them through all of this at the same time. So I finally convinced them to, so we rode down to Orlando, and it wasn't in the city of Orlando, it was on the outskirts. And those of you guys who know Florida, Florida is very liberal in the city parts of Florida. But outside the cities, it is Trump country.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him.
I'm sorry, every other driveway had a rebel flag. I mean, I just felt so out of place. So me and my family, being the people we are, we get to praying. I never seen this part of Florida. It got so rural that there was no lines in the road. It was just pavement. The guy, he didn't have a vehicle that he could bring the tires in. So we had to go to him. So we drove down and we meet him, and thank God. Thank God. Hallelujah. He had the rims. I saw the rims. I saw the rims. The guy was actually so nice. That's why you can't judge a book by its cover. Because that area, I felt like I was going to be lynched. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he washed the rims, and he actually was willing to put them on my car. So he put them on my car. You know, I was gonna ride back to North Carolina in style. Don't you know that the tires were too tall and they were hitting the struts? For my non-car people, it just meant I couldn't drive back with the rims on my car. So we put the rims back in, I gave him the money, and we were on our way back to North Carolina. We got to North Carolina, but I ended up having to go find some struts to put on my car. Nevertheless, at the end of the day, I had my rims, but I went through a whole lot to get those rims. Well, that's the end of that story, you guys, and I thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and also comment in the description below if you ever had a crazy experience like this, or if you ever tried to purchase something on the internet and they never showed up. Let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another YouTube video.